So now where are Gog and Magog? They currently have no connection with the world. I mean, if they did have contact, some trace would surely show whether a smell, smoke, something. If they even cooked a meal, smoke would rise, for example. At least what separates us from them. A barrier came between us and Gog and Magog. And what was put between us and them? The barrier. The barrier mentioned in the Quran, in Surah Al-Kahf. Now leave aside those deniers of miracles and such people. Some say that barrier is the Great Wall of China. They call the Chinese Gog. Is this knowledge, my friends? When their barrier collapses, then you will see. They will leave no water, no food on earth. They will descend from the mountains, pouring down from every slope like floods. Could this be about the Chinese? People travel freely to China today, trade with them, go on journeys. What connection does this have? Just because people cannot see anything in the Chinese walls, they claim it must be that. Even though it is in the Quran, they say this just so people don't deny the Quran. But in the end, you yourself deny it. So what happened to the Quran? While trying to make people Muslims, you yourself became a disbeliever. There is no need for this. The characteristics of the barrier are clear. In the Quran, it is between two mountains. And in it, molten copper was poured with iron. Zulkarnain, peace be upon him, gathered the materials and poured them. It is all described. And yet you claim it was made of stone, mud, brick. What is the connection? While trying to make people believe in the Quran, they themselves became disbelievers. These modernists, reformists, they all deny miracles. I have refuted all of them one by one, and I will share these with you in order. Some say the staff is just a symbol of power, that there was no real staff, but this is denying the Quran. What does it mean there was no staff? Allah Almighty said, strike with it. Are you going to strike with a symbol? What exactly are you striking? He said, strike the rock. Then he said, I drop leaves for my sheep from it. So what, did leaves fall by royal decree? No, he struck with something real. There was an actual thing there. So these are denials of the Quran because the verses are clear, explicit. Thus miracles and the matter of Gog and Magog are like this. Believing in them is obligatory. Whoever denies becomes a disbeliever. Since it is in the Quran, its denial leaves no room for doubt. So a barrier was placed between us and Gog and Magog. The Quran does not go into detail, but the Prophet on the night of Miraj was taken to them. This is also mentioned in Bayzawi's tafsir and in hadith. These reports come from many chains. He conveyed the message to them. Generally, he delivered the message to all of them at once. If they had believed, they would have been guided. But they rejected the mission of the messenger. They said, we do not accept. When they rejected, it was decreed that all of them are bound for hell. Not a single one of Gog and Magog will enter paradise. Not even one. Because they received a collective invitation and they rejected it. This is the matter. So if even they were reached by the message, now are they under the earth somewhere? Maybe sunlight reaches them, maybe not, we do not know. But in hadith, their location is described as between Bukhara and India on that route. So from Uzbekistan, the region of Bukhara toward India. Those mountains are covered with glaciers and beneath them, even today, sounds are reported from there. By sounds, I mean researchers have examined and found lead and iron below, not as natural ore, but as a barrier. Even on the internet today, there are accounts from people who have gone there. But how can they cross it? They cannot. Until Allah permits, the barrier will not break. Even if the whole world gathered together to dig it up, they could not. Their will does not extend to it. They cannot even think of it. Their minds are consumed. When Allah Almighty wills for something not to happen, He does not even allow the thought of it to come into anyone's mind. That is why we sometimes ask, why is this happening? Why is that happening? With so many disbelievers around, why don't they bomb the Muslims all at once? I don't know. But everyone has their appointed time to live. Until the day of resurrection, these things will continue and then end. There will be no such thing as one disbeliever dropping a nuclear bomb and wiping everyone out. That does not exist. Could they do it? No, they cannot. Why not? Because if it has not been decreed, the thought won't even occur to them. For 1,000 years, they won't think of it. And in the 1,001st year, the secret of destiny manifests and they say, oh, why didn't we do this before? That is how it works. So there is no such thing. Everything happens with the will of our Rabb. No one's will is effective, but the test is real.